Hey, everybody, this is Professor Spike and Dr. Jesse live from Long Island, New York, with another edition of Talking Stocks. We talk stocks, we talk other stuff too, right?
We do,
Yeah.
although there's not very much sports to talk about now that
Well,
the
the Mets lost to Detroit. They got swept.
oh
The
yeah,
Mets,
I know, unbelievable.
how do you get swept by a last place team?
Well, the Mets know how to do a lot of things.
It says here, talking stocks. We're going to talk crisp, Intelia, Aurinia,
Okay, which
Blue
one's blue?
Bio, Blue, my world is blue.
Blue.
Spiders, Q's, and Apple. That's a good lineup.
It certainly is. Maybe we can throw lithium in there.
It's a
Just.
better lineup than the Mets have been putting on the field. Their star hitter, Brandon Nimmo, went 0 for 5 yesterday. I don't know. They look pretty pathetic considering
Yeah.
Steve Cohen, the hedge fund dude, spent so much on them. They spent more than any other team, right?
Well, it's not Steinbrenner money, but Steinbrenner has been around a while.
Yeah, well, the Steinbrenner's son is not spending.
No, he's not spending the way his father did.
No,
He doesn't see the ROI the same way.
no.
Although they did get ROI for all the money they spent.
What about the Knicks? Did they have any chance at all of beating Miami?
They won one.
They looked lucky to win that one. That was
Oh,
without
yeah,
Jimmy Butler.
true, true. It's not. It would be nice, like I said, especially after the Rangers got.
But let's say they do go on by some miracle and win 4-3, a 7-game series. They got to face either Boston or Philadelphia.
Yeah, right. It's not the same team as we had in the '80s that was more resilient.
Yeah, Tim is congratulating Professor Spike.
Yeah,
Professor Spike is celebrating the Alzheimer drug results.
yeah.
Yes.
No, that was finally some good news on one of our holdings, and it was, of course, it was the bigger guy instead of the little guy, right? So
Kudos to Curtis.
yeah, they're looking for that weight loss drug to be even a bigger panacea.
Kudos to Curtis, who said nailed 3 bios in a row.
Oh, indeed.
Last show he nailed AQST, which I said was likely to go to 180 if it crossed 143. Curtis? Who are you? Take your mask off. Who are you? Come on, you're nailing everything. ARDX, IMGN, double,
Yeah, these were.
uh,
Sorry to not be
AQST.
on your pack on these.
AQST, we first called it to our attention at $1.20, I think.
Yep.
I mean, come on, who are you? Who is this guy? Take your mask off. Let us know who you are. Come on. Wow. Maybe he's one of the Hunt brothers.
It
I don't know who he is.
looks like Neo's finally up. I'm getting a little buzz that's up 5% today. That's
When Curtis says to chart something, I'm not charting it. I'm just buying it.
right, exactly. Now, well, you remember when you looked at the chart, you said, "Looks good.
Forget
Yeah, maybe I'll buy it in a week or two." And if I
forget the chart. Just forget the chart. Just whatever 4 letters comes out of his mouth. That's it. Come on. I mean, anybody who's following Curtis, never mind us, making a fortune.
well, remember we said that it was our audience that made us look smart. So
Curtis,
I'm not going away from that at all.
we ought to pay you for this, Curtis.
You're right.
You deserve to be
How much
paid.
technicals? That's fine. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Only just the fundamentals. That's all. Nothing more. Just the fundamentals. Andrew is with us today. Hey,
Yeah,
hi,
no, Andrew was
Andrew.
wondering whether or not Sava was going to be entertaining any of the upside from the Lilly news. We're thinking somewhere down the road it's going to be a cocktail, and hopefully one of these other guys will be part of the cocktail.
I don't know. I sold all my Innovas and I sold all my Sava. I sold today. I almost bought back Dermtech because they have earnings after the close, and I feel like they're going to be good. They're going to say something good, but my money market system says I shouldn't be in it. So
Novus took a real dive today.
The thing is, my belly said I should be in it. My gut said I should be in Dermtech.
Dermtech, yeah.
Yeah, I really like that one. And I defied Capricorn. Capricorn is borderline seller in my money market, money management system. But I haven't sold but just a little piece of it. So that one I'm hanging on to dearly. I've been putting more money into CRISPR and ntla, and both paid dividends today.
Okay.
So I'm doing something right at least.
Yeah, CRISPR went up 8% today.
Curtis still likes Ardalex, Imugen, I forget what AQST stands for, and PLX.
Right.
Eli only included the most mild ALZ patients.
Well, yeah, no, I think the point is that they're going to try to sell it as a kind of thing. It's like, hey, even if you think you might get it and you're still in your 50s, get started and you'll be a patient of ours for 30 years.
I thought I might get it when I was 18. So I don't know what that proves.
That's because you kept forgetting all your girlfriend's names.
Yeah, I had problems. Something, I didn't care what their names were. When I was 18, it didn't much matter. Unfortunately, it was like that,
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it doesn't last.
When you get to be an old fart like me, you realize how silly you were.
Well, except you only have fewer names to remember anyway, so it works out.
It's such silliness, the behavior of a young man towards women most of the time is borderline inane.
Right. When you get older, you just find better ways of life.
Yeah, I don't like myself for the way I behaved.
I'm a national class.
When I was 18, 19, 20.
Yeah. Oh. I'm sure we were all sloppier those days.
Yeah, it's all right. Anyway.
Yeah, so I like your list. I like Arinia's on it. Like I said, the only thing I would include for today might be the lithiums, just to see if there's any.
I could use some lithium.
Yeah. So I stepped into that one, didn't I?
I could use some. Cure my mouth.
They're gonna put them in the cars, and not enough people are gonna get it for that.
I understand the lithium cures your mania.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, if they put it all in the cars, there's not gonna be any left for your mania.
But it may not cure. It may not cure my mania. My mania might be beyond curing.
You have stock mania.
Yeah. All right. Let's see the spiders. Oh, the spiders have to break 418. I hated that candle. Remember on Tuesday I said I hated Monday. Monday's candles sucked. I said we're going back to the 50. Where did we go? Right back to the 50.
Uh-huh.
You remember you even read it off for me. 402.50, I think you said.
I did.
I knew it was going back. Nothing I could do about it.
Well, if we're going to have that kind of cooling off period before the new highs, we definitely have enough impetus for it between the banks and everything else.
Well,
so
it's
not such a surprise to see some of these retreats.
We now have a chart that looks tougher to get across at 418 because we have a double.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely. It looks like it's going to be hitting maybe the 100 before it does that,
or the 200,
or even the 200.
396.
Yeah, Tim, brain bleeding is part of the whole thing, as Biogen taught us.
A lot depends on Apple earnings today, believe it or not. Today is Apple Thursday. Tomorrow is Jobs Friday. Wednesday was Fed Wednesday. We got a different catalyst every day. Well, not necessarily a catalyst, but a different.
Influence.
Yeah, and every day is bank day.
Every day's bank day these days, right?
Yeah. So what's the next one to fail? Pac W,
Uh,
Pacific West.
Not going to name names because I don't know these banks.
Yeah, they're all the big.
As long as it's not one of the big ones, and it won't be, because it just goes to show you stress testing works and regulation works. And when you say, oh, well, these mid-sized banks don't need it, it's like, yeah, okay,
Well, they made stupid bets.
exactly. Well, that's the other thing. I mean, I have friends now who, and even my members of my family are freaking out over the prices of their bonds. I'm like, look, you bought it for a gain, you'll still get the gain. It's just on paper, it looks like you're losing
As
money.
long as the company don't go bankrupt.
Yeah, right, exactly. As long as there's no default, you'll still get your profit. It's just more modest than you thought it was going to be. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Well, there also, we got three main worries with the stock for the stock market. We have the banks,
Right.
we have the debt ceiling, and we
Yes.
have the Fed, pain in the ass Fed.
Well, I think most people think the Fed did the right thing.
Did they do the right thing with the last raise?
Well, maybe if they had done 50 then, maybe they could have been a little more dovish this time. But no, it seems like this is what they're doing now.
Why did they?
My problem with the Fed is I think it's ridiculous to start aiming for 2% inflation. I think
Why did they need to raise on Wednesday? I don't see it.
Well, all right, because if you discount, because inflation is still an issue. And somebody said something in one of the news shows I was listening to. They said the Fed's only job is to worry about inflation and that the rest of this is just window dressing.
Crude oil is under $70. You can pull up to the gas station and that's cost you a fortune.
Which is good for
Natural gas is at like a 30-year low. Come on, we don't have flagrant inflation anymore.
Well, have you bought an egg lately?
Where do they get 5% from? They're making this up or what?
What, the CPI?
Yeah.
I don't think they're making it up.
I don't see flagrant inflation. Even the prices for the food moderated.
Well, I haven't seen it yet.
I've seen it. I don't pay $5 for a carton of eggs anymore. It's much better.
Okay.
But it still says 5% core. I guess they're not lying. I don't know. Better than 9%.
Well, you got to remember, a lot of this is services too, and services have not gone down.
That's true.
And my sandwiches are still very, very expensive every lunch.
No, that's true. That's true. Restaurants, very high. Entertainment, very high. Airline tickets, very high. Hotels, very high. That's true. In certain areas, you see the inflation. It's a beautiful chart on Apple. We're waiting on earnings, I guess, right?
Is this the daily chart that you have up?
No, this is it's a daily. How come? It's new. It's amazing. The first time this ever happened to me.
That it remembered you?
Yeah, I think I trained it. I trained the beta to go to the year.
Exactly. It had some AI that was looking at your behavior and learning.
To go to the one day. Oh, Apple. What a beautiful show. What a chunk of chocolate. You like chocolate?
I love chocolate. You're right. Especially if you look from January, right? We had a little bit of a trouble during the month of February. And maybe a little bit of trouble now, but right, if they announce good stuff.
I used to eat so much chocolate. I used to stuff it all into my mouth at the same time as a kid. That's why I'm so fat today.
Yes, I'm
How many touches are there on this phenomenal trend line?
1, 2, 3, 4. Plus, you're right in the middle of that other green candle.
Yeah, and today was pulled back a little due to earnings. Very little.
Well, how deeply is Apple into this trend of AI?
Deeply into it. I don't know how, but I'm sure they're
Well,
deeply
I'm
into
sure. I mean, because Siri, in order for Siri to give a reasonable answer, they have to know what the hell you're asking.
It's more than Siri. They use it for everything. Who knows? Who knows what they're using it for? What happened to the car that they were building allegedly?
Right, the one that the one that Lexus, not Lexus, the one that Lucid was going to sell, right?
Yeah, they were supposedly building a car. You
Fingers crossed
haven't
this might happen.
they about 3 years ago there was a lot of talk about the car that they were building.
Right, so that they were going to need. Well, again, they still need batteries too. So,
Maybe they're keeping it hush hush and they'll unveil it soon.
well, except they're not secretly cornering the lithium market,
No.
which would have been nice if they were.
You know, this is the best historically, 15 out of 16 years. And this has been the best time of the year to own Apple prior to like 6 months prior to the next iPhone release.
Really?
Yeah. And the worst time is right after the release of the next generation iPhone. What model are we up to? Number 15 is coming?
You got me, but yes, it's definitely in the tens. I'm still playing with my 8, so.
Uh,
But yeah, I know that well. I think I bought my wife an 11, and that was about a year ago.
you see, rich people like you don't have to feel the need to upgrade. It's only the poor people that have to get the new model every year.
Uh, well, look, I still wear dungarees and ratty sneakers. So
Yeah. You like
15 is what Tim says.
what does Tim say?
He said yes, we're up to the 15.
15. Okay, 15 is a good number. And Apple, look, I can't not be bullish on Apple. How can you not be bullish on it? This is an unbelievable chart. I don't care if it gives back to as low as 159.26. It's fine by me. Just buy more.
So Apple is the new Amazon for you.
Well, I'm holding every doggone share of Amazon. It's a lot of shares. And with Apple, on this entire run, I've been adding. So
Well, yeah, no, Apple's certainly been treating us better for the last 6 months than.
yeah, I like how I've done with Apple. I don't like what I've done with Amazon. At the beginning of the year, I said I was going to sell some Amazon and spread it out. I wish I had done it. Although it's up quite a bit from the beginning of the year, I think 20-something%. Well, what are we talking about Amazon now? This is the one with earnings.
Because you've been extolling the virtues of your quote unquote blue chips.
I'm extolling the virtues of Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Adobe. What else? All of them. So I own them all. I'm very fond of all those names. And I intend to ride them all back to new highs.
Good.
Maybe this year.
I hope you're right.
All those naysayers, be damned with them. All right.
Curtis is doubling down on IMGN.
On which one?
IMGN.
On who?
Imagine, it's IMGN, whatever the stock.
Oh, INGN.
Yeah, he says the antibody drug conjugate for targeted cancer. The company itself.
IMGN.
Yeah, the one that he was into.
Yeah, Curtis likes that one.
Yeah,
I don't know if I would double down after a double, but I'm not going to say.
I think he's doubling down in the conversation.
I dare not say anything negative about a Curtis pick. I bite my tongue. It's funny with Immugen. You said Professor Spike said it looks like a weak shot to me. I think it's going to go down, and then you said that's probably reason for everyone to buy.
Exactly.
And I right away said that this is not a bearish chart. The chart was fine.
You know,
I called for
I'm nothing if not consistent.
180 if it broke 143, I think. I don't remember exactly the numbers. No, that was AQST. I'm sorry. MUGen, I don't remember what I said about MUGen, but it wasn't a bearish chart. The chart was okay. It was good, in fact. This chart is good. What is it that I'm looking at? The Qs. We're trading at the bottom end of the channel, and you know, if Apple has good earnings, this is going to lift the Qs right up. It's very bullish trend channel we've been in, extremely bullish. Qs are up about 18, 19% on the year and going higher. They could finish for the year up 50% very easily. Very easily. For the year, I'm talking, not from here. Very easily. So where do I think it's going short term? Yeah, it could test the 50, right around 309. It's possible, very possible. But on the other hand, with good earnings, and it could easily go soon it could be at the upper end of the channel, up near 350. So I want to be in it. You got to be in it to win it. I sold all my IWM, went into spiders and Qs just the other day, remember?
Yes.
And then so far that's paid. It's been a good move.
Yeah, right. IWM, I think, is gotten pretty low now. Let me see.
It was off the most today of all the major indices.
Yeah, because it was getting into the low 170s the last we looked.
Yeah.
It's still at the low 170s. It's 170.4.
I'm excited about CRSP's move today.
All right.
Remember I drew the arrow? You see the arrow that I drew? I said it's going to the 200. The 200 will be at right around 55.95. That
Nice.
sounds good to me.
Nice.
Remember we said on Tuesday that it clearly broke north of the descending flag, whatever you want to call it. It was flagging. So it broke out of the flag
Yeah, no,
pattern.
you drew that arrow with much conviction.
Yes, I did. And today's green candle makes me even more convicted, so to speak.
More convicted.
So near term, this is going to 56. Long term, it's when that sickle cell drug is approved, it'll be in the 80s to 90s. So this is the year for gene editing. I think they're all going to move.
Yeah.
They're all going to move up. This might be the year in general for bio. It's gathering a little momentum right now.
Well, if we have these kind of moves, if we have some cancer headway, and
Curtis, as
stuff,
long as we have Curtis, we're good.
I mean, yeah, this antibody stuff, I've always been a fan of.
I thought I looked at the Qs. Am I cracking up?
No, you did. Yeah, no, the Qs, like we said, might be poised to break that range. We didn't do right in Natalia yet.
Look at that candle today. Oh my goodness. That is some candle today. 13% move up on earnings. And earnings mean nothing. They're not earning money. I think they have a war chest of like 12 billion or zillion or something. They got a lot of cash. So that's good. But it's still going to be a long way to Tipperary. They just started dosing on the HAE trial. You know what HAE is? That's hereditary angioedema, which Orladeyo treats for BCRX.
Right.
So if Natalia has the cure for HAE, that'll put BCRX out of business.
Right.
It's down the road.
Have to wait for the next virus.
But it's down the road, of course. This is a ways off.
Oh, but BCRX has not really been a an uppity player lately.
No, but it is showing an increase in prescriptions for Orladeyo.
Okay, good.
So it's showing some life of late, which is a good thing for all those that didn't bail from BCRX. I just at least temporarily am out of it. I could get back in.
Well, I mean, look, if your old average was 18 and your new average will be 8, then you're making money on the deal.
I guess. All right, so and tell you where's it going? Just like its friend CRISPR, it's going to go test the 200. This one will be 47 and 50, something like that. So I think there's a little more juice. It's got a little more juice. You want to see it start taking out some old highs, like this one. Was that high? 45.25 has to come out. And also, this high at 46.03 is even more important. 46.03. I think it. I think the CRISPR and Intellia might might respect the 200 and come back down a little.
Okay, makes
So
sense.
if you want to take a little off the table, that might be a place.
Curtis announced that aapl just beat estimates.
Oh, good. Of course, our opinion strictly our own, non-investment advice, government advisor before acting. If you like this goddamn banter, support us, subscribe, give us a like, ring the bell, whatever that bell is. There's a broken bell. We got to hit the broken bell,
Liberty Bell.
Liberty Bell. And Kamal,
Apple just went up $3 after hours.
what went up?
Apple just went up $3.50, 2%.
That means it'll be up $15 by the morning.
You know, that's what people said about Amazon a couple of days ago.
Yeah, but Amazon started up $20 and then it gave it all back.
Right. So it depends on how people digest this.
This one is just a yawn, $3.
Okay.
So it's either going to be up or down 10. You know that.
That's right. Exactly.
This doesn't mean much.
Wherever it is, it'll be different from where it is now.
Absolutely.
Tim's hoping it'll carry the entire stock market up. That would be nice.
So let's take a look at Arenia.
Yes,
it had really good pre-market action over $12. Gave it all back, but it's still hugging that ascending channel. And it had a very good candlestick today, even though it was red. You see, it was much lower, came back.
Here's an answer from Wikipedia. Christopher Comstock, born May 19, 1992, known professionally as Marshmello, is an American electronic music producer and DJ.
All right, so
did I ask Siri? Why is Siri telling me these things?
Because I don't know. You were asking about rap stars with food nicknames.
Oh, maybe.
Didn't you know that?
I don't know any rap stars. I know a cool nickname, Snoop Doggy.
Yeah.
Isn't that his name, Snoop Dogg?
Yes.
Eminem.
Okay.
I'm on a roll.
You're right on the zeitgeist.
I got two. I think that's it. I don't know any
other. Right. Now let's pick somebody from the 1990s.
That's hard too for me. I have a lot of trouble with decades, figuring out who's what from what decade.
Right.
Like Mickey Mantle, I can tell you 1950s, 1960s. That I know. But most players, when did Michael Jordan play? From what year to what year? Could you tell me?
I'm going to say the 80s, but I could be wrong.
See, I'm very bad at that.
The 80s or the 90s. Oh, it was the 90s because that's when I got married. Yes, the 90s.
Okay. So you remember when Michael Jordan played sooner than when you got married?
Yeah. Well, you have to use some benchmark that you could sort of remember.
Yeah, I guess so.
The day that he was playing on the in the finals with massive fever was etched in my brain.
Blue is coming back. They already have 2 approved drugs for that with gene modification. I don't think they use CRISPR. They use some other
Some other
method.
gene editing.
Yeah, and they're competing with CRISPR for a sickle cell drug. CRISPR already filed their BLA. Blue is about to. So it's a horse race. I don't know which is better. We'll find out. But this might be a good one to pick some up, you know? Pick up some blue, cheap, could run, chart's good. Thought I'd throw it in. I don't own any, just for the record.
Right.
Every other stock today I own. Anybody requesting, like Curtis got another one I could make 100% on?
Well, Tim wants to know what we think about Tesla.
Tesla, I sold every doggone share I own. I guess that summarizes it.
You know, and we're all worried about Sava. We like Curtis's winners.
Look, a long-term Tesla is going to be a winner. It's just a short-term bothers me. You wanted me to chart PAC W?
Which one?
The bank.
Oh, okay. I was going to actually ask you to look at Lit only because I wanted to get a feel for whether or not.
I own a ton of Lit. I'm not happy.
I know, neither am I. I just wanted to see if there was any good news to be had out of that.
You know something? It almost doesn't matter what this chart says because you can't own it.
No, absolutely not.
So it's just a waste of time looking at it. Can't own it. Too risky. You could be bankrupt tomorrow, so you just can't own it. PLX is the one Curtis likes, is up another 21 cents.
Yeah, no, he says that EU approval for the Fabry disease drug.
I mean, he's got the Midas touch. I
So
never.
he says our FDA.
Nobody has come on the show and hit with 3 or 4 winners in a row, like this, where they like double. I mean, it's crazy. And he's relatively new to the show, right?
I believe so.
Relatively.
No, we'd seen him around. I thought we'd seen him around.
But he's not like, not like Andrew and Tim and others. Indubitably.
Right.
What happened to MA? I haven't seen MA since South collapsed.
I haven't seen that magnificent dancer in a while.
We need MA. I gotta call MA.
And Jiggy. Jiggy usually livens the
Jiggy Pop, I think he's living in Atlantic City.
Oh, okay. So he's doing a different kind of gambling.
I think so. I'm not sure. I'm just kidding. But he told me he's a card counter. So what do card counters do?
They get beat up by the people who run the casinos.
Do they really? No, they don't get beat up. That's only in the movies.
It's only in the movies. Well, yeah. Look pretty believable to me.
No, they don't get beat up. Pac West might be playable.
Right. Your buddy never got beat up, even though he was a pretty clear card counter.
Pac W could be playable. I don't know. I wouldn't want to do it though. It's got a nice trend line with 3 touches, and maybe. I think it's too. What is this? I'm on the minute again. Jesus.
Oh, you're on the day, yeah.
I thought I cured it.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, if you go slow enough, you'll actually get to see some real behavior. You go too fast, you can run all over the place.
Well, maybe the minute chart tells you that you could play it for a few minutes.
Exactly. That's actually my point.
Yeah. This chart.
So Curtis says IBRX is another one to look at.
That's another Curtis one that I was in, made money, and got out.
Nice.
He gave us about 5. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Not one. The thing is, maybe not. I don't think there was one bad one amongst them. That's what makes it incredible. What did you want me to chart, Professor Spike?
Lit.
Lit.
And then we could end it there.
All right.
So
Lit.
yeah, Andrew wants to know if we have any updates on Arjun and Jake. I know you still talk to them somewhat.
I spoke to Arjun the other day. He's in Southeast Asia or somewhere. I don't know. He decided not to work, just travel the world, him and his wife.
Oh, he's had a couple of good experiences on the stock market to cover at least a year of.
Yeah, well, he's done well with oil.
Yeah, the
I
Brazilian.
wanted to look at, can I look at UNG
Of
besides?
course.
And this is really cheap. I don't like to play stocks that look like, or names that look like the charts look like hell. But this has got to turn around.
This is daily again, so you should.
Bail it a minute again.
Yeah. There you go.
In just a minute, it might turn around. Oh, geez, is this pathetic looking chart?
Oh,
You know something?
not if you.
Hold your nose and buy it. I
You
think
know,
it's,
I like these kinds of commodities because they definitely go up after a while.
this
Gas
is
is not going away.
this must be like an all-time low for this
Yeah,
commodity.
you should go back. You should go back a couple of years. Go to-
Does
go
it
to
let me-
5
5 years. It lets me go back 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Holy moly.
Hold your nose and buy it. But you got to hold your nose. You can't just buy it. You got to hold your nose and buy it.
So yeah, maybe Andrew, you have to take the advice you give and sort of.
I don't know if I could buy it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm telling everybody hold your nose and buy it, but I'm not sure I got the enough.
You don't know if you have the cojones to do it.
I don't think so. I'm not sure. I would like to do it, but I'm not sure if I will. Because it looks like tomorrow it's just going to be lower. So
Well, you know something. Like I said, I'm into a lot of gas plays that I'm getting creamed on, so I need to average down a little bit.
try. You can buy it. Let me know how it goes.
It's better than buying Dig. I can't. Dig is doing nothing for me.
I'd rather buy Williams or something solid, maybe.
Oh yeah, what was I in just recently? Schlumberger. So I think I was doing okay for a little while, but I think I'm.
Downtown Josh Brown like Schrodinger, $1 stock, or a $30 stock. And he wouldn't give out. On CNBC he was talking about him. Downtown Josh Brown. I like the name. He's not been terrible, Downtown Josh Brown.
All right, so let's having problems loading. Again, you're on the daily.
And
There you go. I know what goes up and down and up and down and round and round. The theme is supposed to be all in one direction, but
this thing looks almost like UNG, you know.
it's got and you can see this clear,
Clear bottom, I think.
Oh, you seeing the bottom? I'm just looking at these lower highs.
Looks like a clear bottom was put in. Buy near 57, 58, 59, right where we are. It looks like a buy. I own a lot of it. I don't think I'm going to add.
Right, exactly. It's hard to add when you're already taking a
Because
big.
all the commodities are getting killed. You don't know where the bottom is. How can the commodities all get killed in an inflationary environment?
That is a very good question.
Something don't add up. Is 1 and 1 2? I'm not sure.
Ultimately, the math evens out, but
1 and 1 is 10, right? Well, how much is 1 and 1? 10, right? Or 11?
11. 1 and 1 is 11 because
It's
you
11.
don't define the operation correctly.
I wasn't sure if it was 10 or 11.
1 and 1 is 11.
Depends on how you're looking at it.
1 plus 1 is 2, but 1 and 1 is 11.
Oh, okay.
It's the name of the operation.
Ah, yeah. Stringing it together. All right, so that's it, right? We covered a
Yeah,
lot
we're
of
good.
ground. I'm tired. I'm happy. Is Apple really up?
It was. Let's see. It was for a little while.
Yeah? Is it still up?
Let's see. No, it it gave it back. It was up 3.5. Now it's only up like 75 cents.
Ah.
Yeah, I told you once they digest it.
Tim knows where Jiggly is.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he's negotiating to buy out Athersys.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Thanks everybody for coming. Tim, Andrew, Curtis, indubitably if he's here. Adios amigos. Ciao. All the best.
Bye bye.